Hey, what's going on guys? Grunge Gaming back here, and in today's video guys, I'm going to be going over the best guns in Apex Legends Season 6. Anyway, let's get right into the video. Now guys, these are kind of slept on weapons too. Everyone's kind of using the Volt now. They're trying to put that into the meta, see what works with it. Now the Volt is great, and it's a great kind of weapon that can be related to the R99. Now of course guys, I'm actually really bad with the Volt, and I don't know, but I've actually found superior weapons, and even better, I found weapons to combat the Volt better than using the Volt myself. So that's one of the factors that goes into this video. Anyway, these are the top 3 weapons that I think are the best in Apex Legends Season 6. Now first of all, in the background, right, you guys will be seeing me use these 3 weapons, and I'll kind of just talk about each one of them, the damage, and why they're so powerful. Now the first one I'll start with is the L-Star. Now I picked this one first because this is the most controversial and honestly hated weapon. Now the Loser Star, if you will, has had its actually fair share of buffs, and it's also been leaked in the code that we're going to be getting a hop-up for it that will make the cooldowns faster and make it so it can actually run longer without having the cooldown where you have to take like the little bolt out, the little capacitor in it because it gets too hot, and then put a new one in. So of course they're trying to make it better, even though I already think it's good enough. Now here, let me explain. Now the L-Star is almost, you have to be in range like a shotgun. That is how terrible the range is with it. Now if you're going up against a bigger hitbox character like a Gibraltar or a Caustic, the L-Star is going to be no problem from far away, if you will. But honestly, I like to pair this with the G7, which is honestly like the next one that I really like a lot. Now the G7 is like 33 damage per shot and 108 damage per headshot. Now this thing can shred because it can go so fast, especially if you have double tap, right? It's kind of all the same. Now with that being said, the L-Star does shred, it does melt people like crazy. You honestly just have to be close, and it is a really good close quarters weapon for the end ring. That's honestly why you pick it up. Now the G7 is so good because it also works close quarters, just don't aim down on it. And this one is super good because it can fire super fast rates. Now the L-Star did get a little bit of a buff, if you will, but it's always been the same as it kind of always been. If anything, it actually got better once they took it out of the care package, and it's always melted, but it's never been very efficient up until now, where it can actually go longer without needing to stop and replace the capacitors or its way of reloading. So that's one of the things that makes the L-Star so great for Season 6. Now I already talked about a little bit about the G7, but I think I will talk about it a little bit more. Now the G7 is a rapid firing scout rifle. They put it back into the AR class of weapons, so now it can remain a light weapon and it's not considered to be a sniper. Now the G7 is actually really good. A lot of people use it, and it's almost like the Hemlock, a very slept on weapon, but people still use it quite a lot. Now, the G7, right, it has its ups and downs. It does have double tap, so that is something to take into account if you can find the hop up for it. But honestly, it does shred. It is a very fast firing weapon, and that's one of the things that makes it so good in Apex Legends Season 6. We really haven't seen a buff for it in Season 6. Now, there has been a lot of buffs for it in Season 4, so I think that's kind of why it's actually prevailed over other weapons. And guys, remember about this is, before I move on to the very last weapon, all weapons in Apex Legends, some are meant to go over others, but they're supposed to be all equally balanced. So that's kind of where we're getting at in this stage, except for golden weapons, right? They're kind of high. Everyone shreds with the PK and things like that. But besides that, they're all supposed to equally balance each other, but some combos are more lethal than others. Now the last gun I'll talk about is the triple take. Guys, the triple take is so good now. I cannot begin to express the triple take's power and how slept on it is. A lot of people, you're right, I used to use a triple take a lot, and now I do again. Now the triple take is actually really good because it does a good 59 damage every time you just shoot someone in the torso as it's shotgun style. And you can get usually pretty good headshots, like 100 damage headshots with the triple take. What is so nice about it is it's like the Peacekeeper, where the precision choke is already on it, so that makes it a little more OP than other weapons. Also, you can also switch it, so basically if you don't want anyone to hear you right warming it up, you don't have to do that, because let's be honest, warming up a precision choke really is loud. So that's one of the reasons why this is such a good weapon, because you can turn it on or off. It can be used as a shotgun or a sniper, but honestly it's kind of not really a sniper for me. They should have kept it in the energy class because it's more like a G7 than any snipers. Of course, you can still put sniper scopes on it, so that's one of the things to be thinking about when using this weapon. But it honestly is really good as a shotgun to just whip it out and shoot someone. You cannot do that with a longbow or a sentinel. You could try a no scope, but the triple take is better for close quarters, so it'll definitely help you in the beginning of the game, mid game, and especially in end game when it wants to go to shotgun mode. I definitely would pair this again with the L-Star or something, and that's about it. Now guys, before the end of the video, I do want to mention some honorable mentions. Of course guys, the Volt rips through people. You can pretty much down someone with no mag. Now of course barrels are going to make it better. The 301, right? The 301 is still really good, and the 301 is making it big, if you will, right? Because that's like the best next thing to the R99. And with that being said, it is still a very good weapon. It is very good actually paired with the Volt. I've actually noticed that a lot, or with the L-Star. So it's honestly really funny. The 301 is honestly a go-to weapon for me, guys. The Prowler, guys, is actually really good. They got rid of the golden Prowlers, right, in the game. But of course, you can still make one yourself by finding things in the battlefield and the map. But of course, got Select Fire, and it is still really powerful as a SMG. And then the last one I'll talk about is the Peacekeeper. Now I know the Peacekeeper and along with the R99 are all care package weapons along with the Crab, but with that being said, the Peacekeeper is actually more common, I have found, in care package drops, even though they're not supposed to be, but somehow it's just more common and you can just find them a lot easier. Now of course guys, Peacekeepers are really good, especially if you know how to use them. They shred, and they're pretty much 2 shots, if not 1 shot if your opponent has white armor. So honestly, it's a really good weapon of choice to have. And then of course, the R99, right? Same care package. I have seen only one, but of course guys, a lot of people are kind of over the R99 now. Some people will still pick it up, but of course guys, the R99 goes through so much ammo, it's just not worth it to pick one of those up right now. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully you guys thought my mic work was a little bit better. I'm recording this on my new PC, so hopefully you guys can't hear the fans in the background too bad. But anyway, if you guys do like the video, consider subscribing. And of course guys, thank you guys so much for helping me grow the channel lately. To all my new subscribers, thank you guys so much. And hopefully see you guys all in the